Good morning children. I am Sneha Baiju, a teacher of Montessori Group of Schools, Telangana. Welcome to the world of physical science. This video is meant for students who couldn't attend the live classes due to some technical issues. So, through this video, we will discuss only the main concept of our FA1 syllabus. We have two chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Today we are going to discuss about the interesting chapter, that is force. Do you know what is force? Force is a push or a pull. What do you mean by push or pull? So here, see, here I have a toy. So if you apply force, if the object is moving away from you, then we will call it as push. If you apply force, so the object is moving towards you, that means object moves in the direction of force, then it is known as pull. So force is a push or a pull. We have plenty of activities in our daily life where we apply force as push or pull, or some cases we will apply both push and pull. So for example, pushing the door, pushing the gate, pushing the friend, pushing the table, plenty of examples for push. What about pull? Hoisting the flag, pulling the ribbon of your friend, sucking the juice. Here I have a safety pin. So this is a magnet. See, magnet pulls the pin. So this is also force, where we apply force as a pull. But in some cases, we will apply force as both push and pull. Can you tell some cases? If you want to erase the board, push and pull. So push and pull we are using for erasing the board. For writing, we are using push and pull. When you open and close the zip of your bag, see, push. If you want to close, pull. So we are using push and pull to open and close the zip of bags. So find out more activities from your daily life where we apply force only as push and force only as pull, and there are some cases where we apply force as both push and pull. So force is a push or pull. Now let us discuss about the types of force. There are two types of forces, contact force and force at a distance. Contact force, force at a distance, otherwise we will call it as field force. Now first let us discuss about contact force. Contact force is the force when you apply force, objects are in physical contact. When there is direct physical contact, the force is known as contact force. When force is applied without any physical contact, that force is known as field force or force at a distance or non-contact force. So three names are there for field force, force at a distance, non-contact force. So we have two types of force, one is contact force, other one is field force. First let us discuss about contact force. So see, we have four types of contact force. First one is muscular force, second one is frictional force, third one is normal force, and fourth one is tension. So here muscular, normal, tension and friction. Let us discuss each one in detail. Do you know what is muscular force? Every activity, if I want to throw you something, if I want to write, whatever works we are doing, we need muscles. Can you see my muscles? So do you know what are muscles? Muscles are bundles of muscle cells. When you lift a dumbbell in your hand, you can see muscles. Those who didn't see so far muscles, observe a bullock cart and see the body movements of the ox. You can see the muscles. So the contraction and relaxation of muscle cells or the muscles will help us to do work. So all the muscular activities which we do, we need a muscular force. So muscular force is a contact force. Now let us discuss about normal force. What is normal force? Here I have an object here. See, here I have an object on this table. So, this table will apply a force in the upward direction. As we know, gravity pulls every object downward, but the table will hold it upward. So, the force applied by this solid object on other object in the normal direction, that force is known as normal force. Force applied by solid object on other object in the normal direction is known as normal force. So, here also contact is available. So, this is also a contact force. So, we discussed about the second type of contact force, that is normal force. Now, let us discuss the third type of contact force. What is that? Frictional force. Have you ever felt slipping during rainy season? Yes, if those who didn't get any feeling about slipping, pour little water on tile floor and try to walk, take care of fracture. So, slipping occurs when there is no friction. So, you must know what is friction. When a body move on a surface, for example, I give a push here, so that object moves, after some time it stops. Why? When I push the body from this direction to this direction, this table will apply a force in the opposite direction. So, frictional force is the force that opposes the motion of objects relative to each other. When a body moves over other objects, the below object will apply an opposite force. When a ball moves on the ground, ground will apply a force in the opposite direction, so that after some time eventually the ball come to halt. So, this is because of friction. So, now let us discuss about the next type of force, contact force, that is what is called tension. It is not the tension about our exam. Tension is a force. Did you surprise? So, here see, here I have a bag, you can see a string here. So, as you know, if you hang any object, gravity will pull it downwards, but the string, the stretchiness of the string will pull it upward. That is why it is existing here, you can see it. So, the tightness or the stretchiness of the string, that is what is called tension. So, tension is the tightness or stretchiness of the string. So, tension also a contact force, both are in contact, isn't it? But gravity we cannot see, but this stretchiness of the string we can see it, we can touch it. So, this stretchiness or tightness of string, that is what is called tension. So, we discussed the contact forces, we discussed about muscular forces, normal force, tension and friction. Now, let us discuss about field force. How many types of field force are available here? Magnetic force, gravitational force and electrostatic force. What is magnetic force? Here I have a magnet. Magnet will pull every object. There is no physical contact, but you observe clearly the object will move towards the magnet. So, magnet will apply a force towards the iron object without any physical contact. So, magnetic force is a field force. You have an activity in the textbook describing that you have to sprinkle some iron filings on white paper and take a bar magnet, bring it below and tap the paper. Here see, you will get a design. Why? Because the magnet I placed under the paper will attract. So, its magnetic forces are spreading all over this area. Wherever you are seeing the iron filings, the magnetic force is available. So, you will get a design. So, it shows we can visualize magnetic field in this way. So, plenty of activities are again available about magnetic field and other forces. For that, you have to attend the live classes. You will get it through the digital lab of Montessori, isn't it? So, I think you got a clear idea about magnetic force. So, magnet will attract magnetic substance like iron. So with a force, pulling force, there is no requirement of physical contact. So it is a field force. Next one is gravitational force. If I throw this upward, any object which you throw upward, falling down, falling it, isn't it? Because of earth pulls every object towards its center. So the force of attraction of earth towards its center is known as gravity. You studied in lower classes, but now you are in 8th class, you have to study the definition given by our Isaac Newton. Every object in the universe attracts other object with a force. That force is known as gravitational force. So between you and me, there will be some attractive force, isn't it? So gravitational force, in case of gravitational force, there is no physical contact. So gravitational force is a good example of field force or force at a distance or non-contact force. Now let us come to the third type of field force, that is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is the force that exists between electrical charges. You too can create electrostatic force. Blow a balloon, rub on your dry hair and bring it towards paper pieces. You can find that paper pieces are sticking towards the balloon. Why? Because when you rub the balloon on your dry hair, due to friction, some charges are produced in the balloon. So when you bring towards the paper, opposite charges are produced in the paper. As we know, opposite charges will attract each other, so that the balloon will attract the paper pieces. Those who don't have a balloon, don't worry, you can use your scale, you can rub your plastic scale, or don't use metal, on your dry hair and you can bring towards the paper pieces, it will attract. You can try with your plastic pen also. You can see wonders in such cases, isn't it? So electrostatic force is an example of field forces. There is no physical contact. So we discussed about contact force as well as field force. So now let us discuss the effect of force. When you apply force on an object, what happens? So take some clay and apply force. Its shape will change. I have a duster, you can change the shape. So when you apply force, the object will change its shape. So first effect of force is force can change the shape of an object. Second one is force can change the motion of an object. If the object is moving this direction, if you give, so I pushed this person this direction. If you push in this direction, it will go in another direction. That means force can change the direction of an object. After accidents, vehicle will go in different ways as per the effect of force. So force can change the shape of an object. Force can change the direction of object. Force can put an object in rest. A moving ball, you can stop it by applying a push in the opposite direction. So you can put an object in rest. Same way, you can put an object in motion also. A ball which is at rest, just give a kick so that the ball moves. So you can put an object in motion. So what are the effects of force? Force can change the shape of an object. Force can change the direction of an object. Force can put an object into motion and in rest. So these are the effects of force. So I told you in the beginning, force is a push or a pull. Now we can redefine force. Force is a physical quantity which can change the direction and dimension. And it can put also an object in motion and rest. So force is a physical quantity, it is a vector quantity, that means it has both magnitude and direction. So force is a vector quantity and you can measure in force in Newton and in CGS system dyne. So we discussed about types of force and effects of force. Now let us discuss about the next topic of the chapter, that is what is called pressure. So you may have plenty of pressures from your parent side. Here we are not going to discuss such pressure. We are going to the scientific side of the pressure. force acting perpendicular to a unit area is known as pressure. So, if this is a table, force which is acting perpendicular direction of this unit area, that is what is called pressure. So, pressure, if you want to measure, you have to use the unit force per area. In that equation you have to substitute the unit of force. Force we have Newton, area we have meter square. So, the unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. You can use Pascal also. Now, let us see the factors affecting pressure. Factors affecting pressure, for example, you have to take your pencil which is having a sharpened edge this side, try to press on your palm. Sharpened edge of your pencil, try to press on your palm and feel the pain. Do you have pain? Yes. So, because this edge is sharpened. Now, reverse your pencil and try to press on your palm. You will feel less pain, because when you press the sharpened edge, what happens? Area of contact is very less. So that you feel more pain. Why? Because pressure is more. When you press the other edge, what happens? Area of contact is more. So pressure is less. In short, whenever there is more area, pressure will be less. Whenever there is less area, pressure will be more. Have you ever thought of our knife? Why do they provide sharp edges? To cut the vegetables easily. Our mothers will sharpen it while using, otherwise they have to apply more force. So less area will give more pressure, so easy for them to cut the vegetables. So in the case of pressure, we have to think about area. Wherever area is less, pressure will be more. Wherever area is more, pressure will be less. We have another activity. You have to take 2 trays filled with pure sand and take 2 bricks. You may have rectangular shaped bricks. So, drop the bricks into the 2 sand box or the trays. One you have to drop it in horizontal direction, one you have to drop it in vertical direction. Drop at the same time into the trays containing fine sand and observe the depression formed in that. You can find that the bricks which you dropped in vertical direction will have a more depression than the trays where you dropped the brick in horizontal direction. So this activity also shows you that area of contact has a great impact on pressure. So we discussed about the main concept of the chapter. We discussed about force, factors affecting force and pressure. Next we have to discuss about how can you calculate net force. When you calculate net force, you have to take the sum. For example, if you have a body here, if you apply a force F1 this direction and F2 this direction, the force which you take from left to right, take always as positive, and the force which you measure from right to left, always take it as negative. So while coming to the calculation, if you give here suppose 5 Newton, here 3 Newton, then never think of the values, just subtract 5 Newton minus 3 Newton, net force is 2 Newton. That means when they give values while doing problems, you subtract the smaller number from bigger number, that will give you the net force. More problems you can do in your regular class. Did you get me? So see that, attend the live classes regularly, you can clear all your doubts. I couldn't complete the detailed explanation, as you know it is meant for absentees, those who couldn't understand and couldn't attend the live classes. So I wish all of you a happy learning. Try to attend the live class happily and stay studious. Thank you. Bye.